So yesterday, Darby Allin won his first ever AEW World Heavyweight Championship by beating MJF on Wednesday at Dynamite in his hometown of Seattle. Um, a lot of people figured that after it was announced after AEW Dynasty when Tony Khan made the announcement that Darby Allin was going to be facing MJF for the title on Wednesday on Dynamite in his home, like I said, in his hometown of Seattle. A lot of people figured, like, yeah, I think MJF is going to lose the title to Darby Allin. And watching the episode, you seen, the speech from Darby Allin. Well, we seen Sting was there. When Sting showed up, that let me know, like, yeah, most definitely MJF is losing the title. I kind of wish I they'd have held it to Double or Nothing. I felt like that should have been, the main event for Double or Nothing, but apparently MJF is doing a movie, so that's why he can't. That's why he dropped the title, pretty much dropped the title, because he had a movie obligation, something coming up. So dropping the title to Darby Allin was the next best move. I know like Darby Allin had the number one contender spot with it between him and Andrade. I'm quite sure a lot of people feel like they didn't want Darby Allin to win it. He probably would have much rather been like Andrade or Will Ospreay or maybe Kenny Omega getting another shot at it, or like anybody else on that roster other than Darby Allin. But I'm like, listen, man, Darby Allin is one of the original AEW superstars, like that first group of superstars that signed with AEW. Darby Allin was one of them, you know what I mean? And Darby Allin, I believe, is like a two-time TNT champion. He's a AEW World Tag Team Champion, and now he's an AEW. I don't know if he won an international championship, but now he's an AEW World Champion. So I guess that makes him a Triple Crown winner or something like that in AEW. But for me personally, congratulations to Darby Allin. I feel like he deserved it. Like I say, he's one of the originals there. This is pretty much like a what they call it? I forgot what we call it in wrestling. It's like he's a placeholder. You know what I mean? Like right now, MJF, like I said, MJF lost the title because he's going to do a movie. And right now, Darby Allin's going to hold the title for, not a long time, and that's cool. And that's fine. Darby Allin doesn't have to be a champion for a long time in AEW. You know what I'm saying? AEW, he can win the title and lose it in like a couple of weeks. He could lose it at Double or Nothing to whoever, whatever, you know what I mean? And, so it can happen. It can happen whenever. You know what I mean. So it's not really necessarily like, oh yeah, he doesn't have to be a long-term champion. He could just be like, okay, right now, for the short term, we need somebody to hold the title. It's Darby Allin. Darby Allin's a fan favorite. Darby Allin has been with the company since the beginning. He's won previous championships before. Let's put the world title on him. You know what I mean. Like I said, you obviously got other guys like Omega, Moxley. I think Claudio. Don Callis family got like, Okada, Takeshita, Josh Alexander, Andrade. They got a lot of guys that I feel like could be world champions. And right now, AEW has really been high on Kevin Knight. He's been cooking recently. So there's a lot of guys on the company that could be world champion. But like I said, I'm happy. Like Brody King, that's another guy I've been thinking about. Brody King, Orange Cassidy, you know what I mean? Jericho came back, so Jericho's another possibility. Even Ricochet, the work that he's been doing. So yeah, I'm all for it though. Like I said, I'm all for it. I'm happy for Darby Allin, man. Like I said, he can get a little title run, maybe for a month. Listen, anything past 6 months, you know what I'm saying? I'd be like, damn, they really letting Darby Allin go in with the title. But I think Darby Allin, wins the title, loses the title, probably like Double or Nothing or something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, congratulations to Darby Allin. I'm happy for him. And like I said, and also too, this is a title change on TV. That's the one thing I do like about AEW is you will see title changes on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of miss them days when you'll see like a random title change on TV and it'd be excited. You know what I mean? It'd be very exciting. There'd be a lot of emotions involved, and like I said, everything all the elements is in place. It's in the person's hometown. There's a lot of emotion and a lot of high stakes and stuff like that. So it's like it all comes together. Then when a person does win the title, and finally gets over the mountaintop and wins the title, it's a great moment to see, and it's good for TV. So I'm cool with it. So man, like I said, congrats to Darby Allin, congrats to everybody involved. Like I said, MJF, like I said, 2-time AEW World Champion, one of the highly most decorated talents in AEW. You know what I mean? Doing another movie, he's a superstar. He's one of the greats in that company. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, shout out to him too. So man, it is what it is, man. So like I said, man, it is what it is. Well, let's just enjoy it. Let's see what Darby Allin does with this title run in AEW.